only women can give birth, you are called a bigot. That is crazy. That's nuts. If you say, like J.K. Rowling did when she got canceled by the Harry Potter cast, that only women can menstruate, okay? Can men get their period? Can you help my audience? Can men get their period?
Some can.
Okay.
Yeah, trans men. There's some trans men who can. And again, I think it's okay to ask interesting questions. I think it's okay to have intellectual debates. But I don't think that we're ever going to enter.
Another one of those. Unfortunately, we have to do it. It's just the way of the culture. It is the nature of our current situation. I wish I could ignore it, but how can I? Because it's knocking at our door consistently. It is part of the political realm. It's creeping its way in the church. It is infringed and it has somewhat intertwined with our social sphere. We have to talk about it. We have to talk about all these trends, ideology, and what is happening in the culture. We have to confront it and meet it where it is and come to a conclusion where we make a stand, either for or against. It just has to happen. This one here I got for you is Candace Owens. He is with Marc Lamont Hill. Marc Lamont Hill is a teacher. Candace Owens, a political commentator, to say the least. But the discussion was, should I say crazy? Yeah, I'm going to say the word crazy. You will not believe some of the things that this man was saying. I was like, what is this man talking about? Now, before we get into this video, like and subscribe to the page, click the bell icon for more of my notification upload. Once again, I welcome you to the Look and Live YouTube channel. My name is Pastor James DeVallon. Let's get to the video. All right. Oh boy, let me brace myself for this one. All right, let's take a listen. Let's pick it up right here in 109. This is a beautiful interview, by the way. It's good to listen to the debate, both sides of the party. There's a lot to unpack from this debate, but I just wanted to pick up from here and just take a listen from this point forward because it's very interesting, some of the answers that this man has given. All right, let's take a listen.
Is what I'm saying is more complicated.
All right, let's pick it up right here.
Just like as biologically true as me being born with a penis, right? But the truth is, but the idea that there's social meanings attached to that blackness that make people fear me, or that make people think that that person's life is worth more because they're white or whatever. Those are social meanings that are arbitrary
Correct.
and different. So to acknowledge social constructs doesn't mean you ignore biological realities.
But you just did that when you said that men could give birth.
So similarly, what I'm saying is that I'm not denying the biological reality of maleness, of the genitalia we're assigned at birth and what we can do with those body parts. I'm not denying that. That's a biological reality. Again, the social meaning I'm attaching to it is what I'm saying is more complicated.
But it's not complicated. Can men give birth?
Sometimes. That's my answer. Yes.
And the answer, that is crazy.
That is lunacy. That is just... All right, when you have schoolmasters, teachers talking like this, you know it's over, right? Did you see the video that I did with Yuri Bezmenov, where he was talking about what is it called? Subversion. I got my note here somewhere. I don't want to. That was a good video to watch. I don't want to miss. All right, there's avoidance. All right, almost there. Yep. Here we are. It is ideological subversion. Yeah, Yuri Bezmenov, a KGB defector, where he was talking about psychological warfare and how that plays on the mind. That's significant. Well, the first thing that he spoke about was demoralization. There were full step demoralization, destabilization, crisis, and normalization. Demoralization, when that happens, no matter how much facts is given to a person, they cannot make sense of that reality because they are demoralized. It's actually, it has happened to the educational system. The academics have corrupted their thinking so much so that they can't even make sense of basic reality. What you are looking at right now is a perfect display of that. No disrespect to Mr. Lamont Hill, but his morality has been completely shattered. He doesn't know his left from his right when it comes to basic reality, such as gender. And it's not that complicated. It doesn't need to be made so complicated. All right. Biology, the biology, and also the social construct, as they want to say it. I don't know why we're confusing the matter. Like male and female, it's that simple. All the extra stuff, it doesn't need to become part of the equation. But nevertheless, we're going to let them finish. I just wanted to add that piece in here. I could not believe this man said, yes, men can get pregnant. Unbelievable.
We cannot, it's just crazy. We cannot allow this to happen.
But you wouldn't say the definition of being a woman is the ability to give birth.
And I'm not saying it's, only women can give birth is a factually true statement. True. Only women can give birth. There's only one type of human being
only
that
people
can
with
give
uteruses
birth.
And vaginas
Yes,
and
can
stuff
give
can
birth.
give birth.
Only women can give birth.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Birth.
I'm not, and that, here's what I think we're talking past each other. What I'm saying is, I'm not disputing the fact that certain body parts yield certain kinds of possibilities, right? What I'm disagreeing with is the idea that that is the measure of whether or not you're a man or a woman in society.
Okay, but it has now come to a point where if you say that only women can give birth, you are called a bigot. That is crazy. That's nuts. If you say, like J.K. Rowling did when she got canceled by the Harry Potter cast, that only women can menstruate. Okay, can men get their period? Can you help my audience? Can men get their period?
Some can.
Okay.
Yeah, trans men.
That is crazy. Oh, Lord Jesus, hurry up. What you're looking at is a culture that has departed from the simplicity of truth, a culture that has rejected the basic reality and morality and true biology. You're looking at a culture who has rejected God and do not know the difference between male and female. That is sad. That is bad. Even coming from a teacher is even more repulsive. If I were to ask me, like, this is crazy, bro. I can't believe you're talking like this. Yo, you've been indoctrinated falsely, bro. You've been told a lie and you believed it. It's sad.
Some trans men who can. And again, I think it's okay to ask interesting questions. I think it's okay to have intellectual debates. But I don't think that we ever want to enter a space where we deny the human.
The basic thing is the trans men who can have their period is because they are really women. Because it is humanly impossible to become a man if you were born a woman. It is humanly impossible to become a woman if you were born a male. Now you can appropriate womanhood, appropriate manhood. It is possible to do it in the culture. You can look like a man, but you cannot change the internal organs. You cannot undo what God has done. That is an impossibility. People refuse to believe that. It's just what it is. That's why a lot of the transgenders are coming out crying and weeping because they came face to face with reality. They were lied to. And we keep on lying to these people. We're hurting them. We're hurting our culture. We're hurting the youth. And it's sad. He talks like he knows what he's saying when he is so disconnected from reality. And he has the word salad, as my friend will say. He has the mind suit. But he's really not saying the basic facts for what they are.
And I'm not saying you are, but to deny the humanity or the experiences of other people.
Like I said, I'm was totally okay with trans until it became a demand. What you are denying is my ability to be an intelligent human being, right? You're denying my ability to talk about science and biology in a meaningful way. You are now making your existence is actually infringing on mine, okay?
How so?
And because when you make it a requirement now that I have to pretend that men can give birth and men can menstruate and there needs to be tampons as the ACLU is fighting for in male restrooms, and that if I don't see the reason, the importance of that, then I'm a bigot. I'm someone that doesn't accept. No. I accept you if you want to run around and you want to wear a dress and you want to call yourself Tiffany and you want to put a
you won't
pillow
call me
in
Tiffany.
if you want, I don't need to know your name. It doesn't mean anything to me. If you want to call, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't believe your name is Tiffany. You know, if a person comes up to me and they're in a dress and a skirt and they say my name's Tiffany, okay, cool, Tiffany, cool, right? But when it becomes Candace is a bigot because she won't acknowledge that, you know, Tiffany the man got her period and can have a baby, I'm not playing that game. I will never.
So tomorrow,
back
I'll come on your
down.
show tomorrow, and I have decided.
Facts. That's where I stand as well. You can do whatever you want, but don't put a chain around my neck.
That, or a year from now, suddenly I have reimagined my identity, and I have recognized and affirmed my identity as a trans woman, and I no longer want to identify as Marc. I want to identify, as use your example, as Tiffany.
The day that happens to you, you need to go see a doctor. It's very simple. Something is wrong mentally. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. How were you born as a male and all of a sudden you say, I'm reimagining my identity? Too many TikTok videos, too many Hollywood movies. All right. Check your diet. Check your medias. What's been going on here? Okay. Maybe too much pornography. There's a lot of factors. What I'm just saying, where is your spiritual life? That's the other question. I'm not being rude here. I'm being frank. Where is your spiritual life? Where is your faith in God? Where did that go? You need to find that, because you might be being impressed by the spirit of darkness, Satanism. Satan knows how to confuse the mind. That's the reality as well. Hey, don't get me started.
You wouldn't be like, this book says Marc, you're Marc. You'd call me Tiffany.
I'd call you Tiffany, but I'm not going to call you she and her, because that has real meaning, and I'm not going to play the
What's
game.
What's compromised by that? Is what I'm trying to understand.
My reality. You're now saying you've transformed your reality, and now I have to pretend that words have no meanings, and they do have meanings, right? So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to call you, hi, Tiff. How you doing, Tiff? Did you have a good day, Tiff? Great, Tiff. I'm not going to then say she. I'm not doing that. And if people cannot, if people the demand,
but you won't misgender me either.
What? I'll just call you Tiffany.
But and if they say where'd Tiffany go, you're not gonna be like he just left. You'll say she just left.
I'll probably.
Oh, that misgender business really is just. I'm tired of that. You're confusing people with all your misgendering business. Someone saying they them pronoun. They them pronoun. What is that? Plural for a single individual. I'm a he her pronoun. What? And again, you call me nasty names if I don't agree with you. If I do not coincide to whatever mental gymnastic that is happening within. I mean, what does that have to do with me? You are controlling speech to the point where you're looking to control my thoughts, or even my conscience, or my own perception of reality. Because of the way you feel about yourself, I'm supposed to change my way of talking just because of the way you feel inside. And you said, I'm wrong for preaching my gospel. I'm wrong for talking about Jesus. You say, if I talk about the love of God, you can't be doing that. Really? Really? But you can force me to believe what you believe. But if I share my gospel, you call me all kind of nasty names, some of yous. And that's
slip up once or twice. But
I'm not talking about
Tiffany
mistakes, but I'm
left.
saying you wouldn't intentionally misgender me.
No, I wouldn't intentionally misgender you, but I don't want Tiffany in my bathroom. I don't want Tiffany
But
in
you also
my
don't want
spaces.
tampons in the other bathroom. That's
Right?
what I don't get.
No, I don't care. I think it's stupid. I think it's foolish. I think it's dumb. But if that's really where guys want to go, do it. I don't care. It's not my business. It doesn't impact me. I don't have to go in the bathroom. But I don't want Tiffany in my bathroom.
And you okay? Are you okay with gender neutral bathrooms?
That's how most bathrooms are. That's all. Go on the plane. They're all gender neutral.
No, I got you. But
Yeah,
I'm saying
bathroom, fine.
But
Cool.
I'm saying designating a specific one, like in public spaces, like restaurants.
Yeah, I hate that they say gender neutral, because usually they just say bathroom. Like they don't need to say gender neutral. It just says bathroom, and we all understood that. That just seems to be an extra step of virtue signaling to say gender neutral.
Yeah.
You just put bathroom. Everyone knows what that means.
No, but a lot of times in places, like for example, in our university, We have male bathrooms, we have female bathrooms, and
Yeah.
then we have gender neutral
You
bathrooms.
could just put bathroom. Everyone knows what it means. You put WC, everyone knows what it means. It means anybody can go here. That's always been that way since the beginning of time. And then suddenly the trans lobbies wanted to say gender neutral, and suddenly we had to put gender neutral.
That's
and
so
I was
fascinating because I find it actually be the right in this case, and I'm not.
Planes. Do they say gender neutral? Or they
I'm
just
with
bathroom.
you. I'm with you. I mean, grandmom's house.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, right? I mean, no one called it gender. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I often find that it's
I'm telling you, you know, in America, we are in serious trouble. When we start fighting over bathrooms, it shows how spoiled we are and how much we are so disconnected. We are, we're sick, right? As a culture, we are sick. There's a world out there where there's so much happening. There's suffering, pain. There's real trouble going on in the world. There are people who are suicidal. Homicide is rising. The cities are polluted. Poverty is all over the place. And when you travel into these other nations and you see how they live and what's happening in these worlds, there are so much we can do to help people. We know what we're doing over here. We are fighting over bathrooms. Yep. We're fighting over bathrooms. Who gets to use which bathrooms?
it's the anti-trans community that's like, oh my God, a gender neutral bathroom.
Because it's
God made bathroom for man, bathroom for woman. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, they've always been just bathrooms. Usually at small places, just bathrooms. It's fine, but like I can't stand the preamble to the Constitution. Any person can go here. We don't care whether you. Shut up.
I think that's a good thing. I think
it's
that's
just annoying. It's just the constant virtue signaling. Shut up. Just put
It's about,
bathroom.
it's about affirming people's identity.
You don't need your identity affirmed on a bathroom sign. If you need
You
that,
do if you've been denied access.
it just says
That's
bathroom.
privilege.
It's not privilege.
That's cisgender privilege. It really is.
Oh my God!
It is.
Stop with these made-up terms. Cisgender privilege. It's just a bathroom.
All words are made up.
I mean, it's just
It's
a
a necessary
bathroom.
word.
She's right.
No,
this
but what
is
I'm saying is, if you've been constantly denied access to something, affirming that you can come here matters because there's a long history of trans people.
Just write bathroom.
Right, and I'm saying, just right bathroom historically has still excluded people who are visibly gender nonconforming.
Oh, give me a break, man.
If you go throughout history, you know how many people are kicked out of restaurants and not even allowed to sit in the restaurant, much less use the bathroom because their gender doesn't seem to line up with what society's expectations. And so saying you can come here too is a sign of saying we welcome you. It's just like saying
Okay, I agree with that. I mean, they shouldn't be kicked out, pushed away because of their gender or whatever, however they're identified. You know, I don't know if they need to create a whole new bathroom for you, though. Either way, agree they should be able to say, okay, if you identify as a female and the females in the bathroom feel comfortable with you being there, fine. You identify as a man and you want to go to the men's bathroom and the men feel comfortable with you being there, fine. I think there's still some risk. There are some risks that we're going to have to accept and work with. Well, I do not agree with kicking people out and say you can't, I don't personally agree with that, and I think there has to be something that but again, this was a couple of years ago. It's 2 years ago. Things have changed so much now that trans people have so much rights. They can say whatever they want and do whatever they want. Nobody can stop them anyway. So we know that now. So nevertheless, it's an interesting discussion. Guys, we're talking about bathroom. Okay, this world is coming to an end, but we're talking about bathroom over here.
you see like an ally sign or a rainbow flag on a restaurant. It's not saying that anyone who doesn't have one means gay people can't come in, but the point is because places have been so hostile, affirming that you can come in
Nothing
matters.
annoys me more than that crap. I mean, I tell you, nothing annoys me more than seeing that crap everywhere all the time. It's just, you gotta have the Black Lives Matter flag, the LGBT flag, the this sign. It's like, dude, since when are people not allowed to just buy furniture? I don't need you to have 18 different signs. Like, I just want to walk into the furniture store. It's not
Because
everything.
people aren't welcome.
Not
Would you be okay if they're American flag? Would you be mad at American flag?
Can you
hanging
help
up?
me? When were gay people in America not allowed to buy furniture? You're gonna have to help me out with that.
It's not specific.
Good question. Good question. All this virtue signaling is like, duh. Like, please give me a break.
To furniture, but gay people.
No, I'm saying like it's every store now. It's every store. They have to put a flag.
There's a historical narrative.
When were gay people not allowed to go into McDonald's?
As long as there have been McDonald's. And,
Really?
and this isn't specific to McDonald's. I'm saying that in terms of public accommodations, people who identify as gender nonconforming, we can talk about gay, lesbian, bisexual. But I'm talking specifically right now about trans folk. Yes, they're often denied access to public spaces like restaurants, like furniture stores, like hospitals, etc. And part of the reason, and again, there's plenty of data on this, is that when they're in public space, they're often criminalized. They're often seen as sex workers. They're often seen as doing something illicit, even if they're just walking down the street. So the reason you see an overrepresentation of trans women, for example, being stopped and searched and frisked or apprehended or questioned, even when they've done nothing, or presumed to be doing sex work just because they're on a corner, like literally they could be crossing the street, is because there's an expectation of who and what they are, a social construct. And so, yes, to say, look, you can come here, we want you here, we won't be judged here, this is a safe haven here, is entirely reasonable. If I had a university, to use your argument earlier, and I think it's okay for a university on the website to say, hey, we value diversity of opinion. We want conservatives too.
I like the compassionate side of this guy. I like how he is somewhat inclusive, compassionate, and understanding of other people's situation. I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think too much of that is not good either. It's almost like you start accepting anything and everything. You don't filter anything. And that to me is like, that's that liberal mentality. Like anything goes. And I'm like, I don't have an issue with that, because there's some stuff we have to have boundaries. We have to put a difference. We have to have black and whites every now and then. It is significant for a culture and society to survive. If we just accept everything, anything goes in the name of being kind and loving, and
right. Now you might say, well, why do I need to say that? Conservatives should be allowed anywhere. But you would say universities are hostile spaces to conservatives. So if I wanted to signal to conservatives that they were welcome here too, I would have to go above and beyond to say that, because they're not.
That's a good point. I have to give them that. Because conservative are certainly not allowed in many universities and everything. So making a loud noise about that, I'm guessing like, hey, saying, hey, here's a flag, conservative are allowed here, which they're never gonna do. I don't think so. They still start marching and pushing against conservatives who go to these universities to make sure that they don't have a voice. But it's a good point he's making, at least. I can give him that.
They're typically not. And so I would, by your argument, and so I'm saying similarly, if a place is denying access historically, a country, to queer folk or to trans folk, then I'm saying, yeah, we got to do something extra to say that.
Maybe we should come up with a flag for conservative people. I
think
that.
It's red, white, and blue. There's like 50 stars.
Oh, just America? That's it?
That's funny. What's wrong with the American flag, fella? You leave my flag alone.
Take it. Everyone start putting American flags so we know that it's safe.
What they start saying is fascist now. Holding up an American flag is oftentimes interpreted as, white supremacists and stuff, which is also wrong. This is another thing that's wrong. Gay flags, fine. LGBT flag, okay. Black Lives Matter, fine. ISIS flag, no problem. American flag, fascism. What a logic.
Maybe it's the Confederate one. Maybe it's the Confederate one. I don't know.
I mean, whatever. I will wrap this by saying I think this was a very important discussion.
I think so too. It's good to listen to the whole thing, guys. And I know I only reacted to a portion of this. It's really a nice discussion. It's two different worldview conflicting each other. But I'll tell you what, I certainly do align a lot more with Candace Owens over, I'm going to say 95% of what Candace Owens was saying, I agree with. Marc Lamont Hill, boy, maybe about 5%. I like his compassionate side, his understanding, his willingness to work with people of different perception and stuff and views. I think that's okay. I think Candace can kind of calm down a little bit when it comes to being compassionate. She needs to a little bit, but I can understand her boldness, and there's a need for that. But like I've said, I agree with 95% of what Candace said throughout this whole interview. She just makes sense. Lamont Hill, 5%, because most of what he was saying was pure craziness, lunacy. It's so it's bizarre. It is really weird talking. It is like a strange mentality. And I know this is the way the progressive mentality is today, the liberal perception of things and how they are redefining everything. I know that's the way it is. What I'm just saying is just one of those things that I can't sign on to. It's just not going to work with me. But I got a Bible verse to share with you, and we're done with this video. All right, we are in Jeremiah 51, verse 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and made all the earth drunken. The nation have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. I want you to think about that very quickly. We are told that Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hands. But the issue here we have, when you understand the history of Babylon, it originates from the Tower of Babel, where they were looking to build this one world religion, one world government, one world political system. That's what was going on in Babylon. God confused them. Okay, God changed the language, and that's what happened there. That's why you get the word Babel, because the Lord confused their language. So out of Babylon, out of Babel came Babylon. But the essence of what we're looking at now is what is known as spiritual Babylon. Babylon is really good to study Babylon, both historically, prophetically as well. But spiritual Babylon is really a mentality that is birthed from the system of Babylon. And we can talk about the system. Okay, but keep in mind the mentality. What does it do? The mentality of Babylon is that it's full of wine because the people are drinking from the cup of Babylon. In other words, Babylon has wines in it. And in the Bible prophecy, wines represents teachings. So there is fermented wine and unfermented wine. So fermented wine gets people drunk. Unfermented wine keep you sober. So fermented wine is what Babylon is giving to the nations, because as the nations are drinking the wine of Babylon, you find this also in Revelation 17. It's good to study about this woman that rises the beast. She is called Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlot and the abominations of the earth. So in essence, whatever this woman has in her cup, which is the wine of the filthiness of her fornication, the Bible says. So the nation drinks of the false teachings from this church, who is an apostasy to Jesus. And the more they drank from this apostate cup, the nations begin to drink the wine of Babylon. And what happens to them? The nations are mad. It's good to look at the word mad here, is where you get the word madness from. In other words, the nations, the people of the nations, as a result of drinking the wine of Babylon, they've gone crazy. So you get it? Babylon is confused, and Babylon is giving wine to the nations, and the nations drink the wines of Babylon. Therefore, there's madness in the world. So in essence, God is tracing back the issues of our culture coming from the apostate church of Babylon. It is a mindset. And what is that mindset? It's a mindset where it is mixed with secularism and biblical truths. So Babylon has managed to take everything in the world and also that which is in the Bible and try and mix it all up and give that to the world. And like I've said, it is an apostate church, and that's a future study in itself. I can't exactly tell you who church it is, but I have to study that with you. There is an apostate church on earth who is primarily responsible for all this confusion that's in the world. That's what's going on here. It is confusion. It is Babylonian. It is babbling like a baby, and they're just not making any sense. And that's what you just heard this man doing. Babylon. Much more could be said about that. The best way to deal with Babylon, my dear friends, is to read the Bible and take the word of life for what it is, and you'll be freed from Babylonians' wines, intoxicating wine. But I really appreciate this discussion. I love me some Candace Owens, and I think Marc Lamont Hill, very intelligent guy, but very confusing. So confused. He's done drinking too much of that Babylonian wine. And I'm not saying to do this with this. A lot of them have, and it's just sad. Just to call it for what it is. These people are confused, and they need help. Anyway, until next time, and as always, friends, remember to look unto Jesus, to live by faith. Have a good one. Bye.